Hi everyone, welcome to English Digest. I'm Pat.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
So, Stephanie, we're talking about office spaces today, and have you worked in any really uncomfortable offices in the past?
I've worked in a lot of offices. None of them are very comfortable. Usually you have an uncomfortable chair. I get tired of sitting a lot. Even recording, we record a lot, and I get tired of sitting. So it's an interesting idea to think about actually having a desk where you would stand up.
Yeah, I can of course, you'd stand up when you're in the kitchen preparing food and maybe, you stand at a counter in the airport or at the post office and write on forms and stuff like that. So it doesn't seem such a crazy idea. I just guess applying it to an 8-hour workday would seem slightly strange.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to stand the whole time, but I know that it's hurting us physically to sit all this time
for the
that
whole
we do.
Day.
You can die younger if you sit all day. So I think it's a good idea to get people up, but I just like to take little walks around the office.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so let's take a read-through of this article about standing desks and find out more about it. It should come as no surprise to see people sitting at their desks when you enter a classroom or an office. However, scientific studies show that sitting for too long harms our bodies. That's why certain great writers, such as Ernest Hemingway and Charles Dickens, made it a rule to work at standing desks. For years, this type of desk remained a curiosity, but these days, they're gaining popularity both in schools and the workplace. Companies such as Google, Facebook, and Yahoo are abandoning traditional desks for these raised desks. Even the White House has gotten in on the act by purchasing standing desks for employees. One school is also tossing out chairs for adjustable height standing desks with a twist. Vallecito Elementary School in San Rafael, California, is using standing desks fitted with fidget bars. This is a hanging metal bar that functions as a footrest. Students can place one foot on the fidget bar and swing it freely to help satisfy their urge to fidget while standing. So far, teachers and students at Vallecito have responded positively to the desks. The teachers say the students seem to be more involved and attentive in class while standing. Further benefits of standing desks may include a decrease in back pain, reduced risk of obesity, and improved academic achievement. Remarkable as standing desks are, it's still not recommended that people stand all day. Tracy Smith, principal of Vallecito Elementary School, says that students can sit down when they feel tired. This way, they can achieve a healthy balance between sitting and standing. Perhaps the old model of sitting all day at school or at work is on its way out, thanks to standing desks.
Okay, guys, we're talking about standing for your health. There have been studies, like I said before, seeing if you sit too long, you'll die younger.
Yeah, I guess the blood kind of doesn't move around your body so quickly. You're not getting all that exercise. You're not converting sugars and so on, which is obviously going to be bad for your heart and make you put on weight and stuff.
So a lot of us actually have desk jobs. We often say desk jobs if you work in the office and you're sitting all the time. I get up quite a bit during the day and I walk usually in the morning, sometimes at night too.
Yeah, I try and do that when I can. You want to wander over and see someone rather than phone them.
Yeah, I know that sometimes it's easier just to stay sitting, but remember to get up. Well, it should come as no surprise to see people sitting at their desks when you enter a classroom or an office.
Yeah, that's the normal situation.
That's right.
Just what you'd expect. Go in, bunch of desks, people sitting down.
Yeah. However, scientific studies show that sitting for too long harms our bodies. Scientists have done a lot of research on this, so we know that it's true. So if you sit too long, it can really damage or harm your body. If it's scientific, it just means scientists are involved. People are doing research or doing experiments on something to find out what the truth is. And they know that if we sit too long, it's not good for our health.
Yeah, these studies aren't just what do people think. These are looking at the real science behind it. So studies of long-term health, short-term health, posture, proper research, and so on. The article then says that's why certain great writers such as Ernest Hemingway and Charles Dickens made it a rule to work at standing desks. If you make it a rule to do something, you kind of make this your habit. It's what you do on a regular basis, not necessarily because you really like it, but because you know it's good for you. You kind of go, okay, I make it a rule to, eat a salad at least twice a week or something.
Really?
Well, I don't. I should, but but that could be a rule that you would make. Maybe you don't always want to have the salad, but you go, okay, I need to eat salad twice a week just to kind of help my diet.
Yeah. So if you make something a rule, like Pat said, it's just a habit, something you try to do as much as possible. So I was really surprised to find out that even Charles Dickens, who lived long ago, when the 1800s, he actually was standing as he wrote. And we know he didn't have a typewriter, guys, or a computer. He was writing by hand. And it's interesting. But if you sat all the time writing, it would be tiring, too.
He wrote an awful lot.
He did. He was a prolific writer.
Would have never been able to get up.
Yeah. So these two men made it a rule to stand up and write at these standing desks. Now, for years, this type of desk remained a curiosity. Now, we know if you're curious, you really want to know about something, you have a lot of interest in it. But if you say something is a curiosity, it's kind of unique, a little strange. It's an object that you were kind of surprised to find. So this type of desk remained kind of strange to most of us.
Yeah, you'd sort of see one if you were in an old building or something. You go, what is that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a standing desk. Oh, I've never seen one of those.
Little odd.
That is a curiosity. You'd find curiosities, because as a noun, it can be a plural like this. In old markets, antique shops, you'd see old stuff like this. And you go, oh, yeah, I remember, hearing about these, or, I've read about them on the internet, but I've never seen one kind of thing. Like these days, I mean, who has a barometer for air pressure and weather?
No, I don't.
No one. No. I think my grandma has one
really?
somewhere, but these days it's a curiosity because we just look at weather reports on the internet.
Yeah, something you don't see very often. So they remained a curiosity until just, I would say about 10 years ago, I started seeing more about these standing desks, or desks that you could actually sit at or pull up that would go either way, which is kind of fun. That's what I'd want. They're gaining popularity nowadays, both in schools and in the workplace, especially if you work for a company that's cutting edge. Especially tech companies seem to have these kinds of desks.
Well, that's who we mention in our next sentence. We've got companies such as Google, Facebook, and Yahoo are abandoning traditional desks, which means they're stopping using them. They're kind of getting rid of them or encouraging their workers not to use them and bringing in these raised desks. They're raised, they're up in the air. They're not at normal height for what we're used to as a desk. They're higher up. And even the White House, home of the President of the US, has gotten in on the act. To get in on the act means to kind of join in something that's going on. You kind of see a general movement. You say, okay, us too, we're also going to take part in this kind of trend, this kind of movement that's sweeping through. They're doing the same thing by purchasing or buying standing desks for employees. Employees, of course, just means workers.
Yeah, and notice the way we pronounce that word, you guys. We say employee, employee. So the accent's almost on that it is on the last syllable. Employee, employer, employee. I have to apologize for the differences in our stress on words. That's one of the hard things to get used to if you're learning English as another language. I was going to say second language, but people in Taiwan, it's like their third or fourth language. So they're getting into the act. They're doing it as well. So here's a school that is also tossing out chairs for adjustable height standing desks. Now, if you toss something out, guys, you get rid of it, you throw it away. There's a difference, though, between the verb toss and throw. Throw has a lot more strength and energy behind it. If you toss a ball, you just kind of gently throw it.
Underarm.
Yeah,
almost.
Underarm, too. Yeah, it's not overarm like you see pitchers will do overarm. You just toss it gently. But here, tossing out, the verb phrase means to throw it away, get rid of it. I'm trying to toss out a lot of extra books and papers in my apartment.
Just clean up a bit, get some
I need
space.
more room. I know. So
Okay.
they're tossing out their chairs for what, Pat?
For adjustable height standing desks. So adjustable height means you can change the height for the height of the student. Some taller students will need taller desks. Shorter students will need shorter ones. So you can adjust the height. So you can probably, maybe move a screw or something, or just pull out a nut or a bolt and just easily move it up or down to make it higher or lower. And the article adds, with a twist. Now, when we say with a twist, we usually mean with something different going on. Not the same as what everybody else is doing. They've got these standing desks, like many companies, but they've added a twist. Something
a little surprise?
Yeah, something unusual, something different, something you wouldn't really expect.
Yeah.
So let's find out what this is. The school is Vallecito Elementary School. It's in San Rafael, California, and they are using standing desks fitted with or equipped with, including fidget bars. Now, sounds interesting, I know. So the next sentence kind of explains what a fidget bar is. It says, this is a hanging metal bar that functions as a footrest. So I guess it hangs down kind of underneath the desk.
Yeah.
And you can put your foot on it and it swings. It moves from one place to the other. So it's not fixed. You can push it out. You can move it in.
Yeah.
So that's where the bar in fidget bar comes in, because it's like a metal bar.
Yeah, I think I fidget. Fidget, guys, is when you just make little movements with your body, maybe your feet, your hands. You're moving. Maybe you're nervous.
Or impatient.
Maybe you're impatient. Maybe you're bored. I fidget a lot when I record for some reason. I move a lot.
I can see it right now.
Yeah, I move my legs a lot. I move my hands. But kids in school particularly will fidget, especially the boys for some reason. They have a hard time sitting still. And you'll hear teachers say, stop fidgeting. Or maybe your parents. My mom would try to cut my brother's hair.
Okay.
And they would be fidgeting, and she would cut it where it's not straight. So she would say, stop fidgeting. Well, these desks actually kind of encourage students to fidget, or it lets them at least have a way to fidget.
do it so they don't do something worse. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're no longer sitting, so it's harder to fidget if you're just standing up straight. So this is a hanging metal bar that functions as a footrest, a place to put your foot. It sounds like maybe there's just one of them. Maybe you have to stand still
desk.
on one leg and then fidget with the other. Notice it's fitted with. If you're fitted with something, guys, it just means you equip that thing with a particular part, whatever it might be. Cars can be fitted with
air conditioning, stereos,
leather upholstery. Yeah. So fitted with. So that's kind of a fun idea, and it kind of takes care of those kids that need to move still.
Okay, we'll just finish off this last paragraph here. Students place one foot on the bar and swing it freely. So they swing it, they can move it back and forth. That's what a swing is. It goes one direction and then the other. And that satisfies their urge, their need, this thing that they can't say no to.
You can't control.
It's almost like a demand their body is placing on them to fidget, to kind of shift around and move a bit. Okay, we'll talk about how these desks are working in just a moment, but right now it's time to hand over to our Chinese teacher.
Hello everyone, my name is Tina. 今天的主题是 Stand for your health. 不是解释成为代表你的健康，而是呢要叫你站起来，然后它的理由就是为了健康的理由。第一个空格，它的句子写着 However, scientific studies show that sitting for too long blank one our bodies.科学的研究显示，坐太久对身体会怎么样呢？第一题的 A 选项 harms 使受伤、伤害 B identifies 辨识、辨别身份 C assists 协助 D regulates 规范。坐太久对身体当然不好，会让我们的伤身，所以第一题的标准答案我们就选择 A harms。 后面的空格提到 That's why certain great writers such as Ernest Hemingway and Charles Dickens made blank two a rule to work at standing desks. 那也就是为什么这些像是海明威或者是狄更斯这样子的伟大作家呢，他们怎么样在站立式的书桌前工作？在英文里面我们说 make it a rule to do something, 也就是有习惯的意思，把后面这件事情当作是一种规范规则，而用 it 来代替后面的不定词片语。所以第二题的标准答案我们就选择 A, it。 第二段的第一个句子提到 Companies such as Google, Facebook, and Yahoo are blank 3 traditional desks for these raised desks. 那么站着的好处很多，所以像是 Google, 脸书还有雅虎这样的公司则是怎么样传统的书桌 for 为了什么原因呢？为了使用这些加高的书桌。第三题 A, obtaining取得， B, abandoning 抛弃， C, replacing 取代， D, constructing 建造。他们抛弃了传统的书桌，选择这个升高的书桌，所以根据文意，第三题我们就选择 B, abandoning。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Okay, guys, we're back. We're talking about standing for your health, these raised desks or these desks that allow you to actually stand up and use them rather than sit in a chair all day. They're not only being found in some high-tech companies that we mentioned, Google, Facebook, Yahoo, but some schools are trying them too. My guess, though, Pat, is this Vallecito Elementary School is probably a private school that has money, because public schools typically don't have enough money to completely outfit a school with new desks.
Set of new desks.
Yeah, and they can't be cheap.
Unless this is for a special, maybe they're getting a grant to try these desks out as almost like an experiment. So that could be possible. And so far, teachers and students at Vallecito have responded positively to the desks. So the students say, hey, we like these.
Interesting.
You know, it's kind of different to stand up, but we're feeling less bored, and we get these cool fidget bars.
Yeah.
And the teachers like it too. They're keen. They say it's had a good effect.
Well, I think you'd probably have fewer students falling asleep in class.
It's harder to fall asleep standing up.
Yeah, when's the last time you did that?
That's certainly true.
So if the teachers say you're more attentive, it means you're paying more attention. So attention is a noun. Attentive is an adjective. So if you're attentive, it means you're really paying attention, you're listening to what someone has to say, or you're looking at them. Most of the time, I shouldn't say most of the time, a lot of the time, kids in school aren't as attentive as they should be. Let's say that. So further benefits, here's some more benefits of standing desks, may include a decrease in back pain. Oh, that's a really good thing. That's what I would need. Kids, not so much. Kids don't have any back pain usually at this age.
Yeah, that's probably more for workers or teachers.
For older people. Reduced risk of obesity. So it lessens your chances of being obese. If you're obese, you're morbidly obese. Or
very overweight.
You're overweight, but by quite a bit. People can be overweight. Obese, I would say it would be a good...
Yeah, it's like the next level.
40 to 50 pounds, perhaps.
Dangerous for your health levels of overweight.
That's right. And when you get obese, it actually decreases your chance of living. You're not going to live as long. So, yeah, that's a helpful thing. It also improved academic achievement. If you see that word academic, guys, it just means having to do with school and learning.
Okay, so it works for the students. They're more involved. They're taking part. They're paying attention. And they're getting better grades. And for those slightly bigger students, there's less risk of them because childhood obesity is becoming more of a problem.
It's increasing, isn't it?
In the sort of modern Western society. So if these desks help to reduce that, then that's another good thing.
It's a great thing.
So the article goes on and says, remarkable as standing desks are, it's still not recommended that people stand all day. So we're calling these desks remarkable. That means they're kind of interesting, they're special, they're worthy of comment. People are going to notice them, talk about them, and kind of say, hey, that's a cool thing. You know, how about we get some of those for our office?
Yeah, I think these sound really great, actually. Now, if something's remarkable, it's something that you want to remark on. If you remark on something, it means you have a comment. You have some sort of opinion or viewpoint that you want to express. And remarkable also to me kind of means quite surprising, quite stunning. Wow. You know, it's kind of a wow thing. Yeah. Remarkable as they are. It's not recommended that you just stand all day either, which I would understand because I've worked in a department store as an employee. And you're walking and standing all day. And, that's tiring.
Well, I remember going to see Romeo and Juliet, and I stood.
Oh, yeah, because
Because in London, there is a theatre where you can pay almost really cheap tickets and stand.
What do we call standing room only tickets? That's what we call them in New York.
Yeah, I guess it's a bit different because it's at the Globe Theatre, and you can stand.
That's all you do is stand.
They have seats, but they're like 8 times the price of a standing ticket. So.
Well, see, in New York, to go to a show is expensive, especially opera. And since I was an opera student, I wasn't a student anymore, I graduated. To get in, they sell those standing room only tickets, but there's a bar you can hold on to.
None of that in the Globe.
But you are standing.
That's like 2-3 hours, and that's a tough stand.
Yeah, well, operas go on to like 4.
Yes.
But the good thing about our tickets is the people that were buying the expensive seats would walk out, during the intermission because they're not real fans, and they would hand us their tickets.
Oh, so you could go and sit in their boxes.
Go sit down.
Nice. Yeah. So that it's not recommended that people stand all day. It's going to be difficult. It could cause other health problems.
Yeah.
It could cause problems with legs and feet. Your muscles will they're being used, so your muscles will kind of get tired as well. They will get you'll get that kind of strain, that burning feeling of when the muscles are stretched for too long.
Yeah.
Like when you exercise too much. And that's why Tracy Smith, the principal at Vallecito Elementary School, says that students can sit down when they feel tired.
Yeah.
We certainly don't want them to be tired. So Tracy Smith is the principal, which means she's the head teacher, basically. She's the one in charge of the school.
And all the other teachers, too. Yeah, and if you do something wrong, at least in America...
You get sent,
You have to go see the principal, go to the principal's office. Now, when I was growing up, you would actually get spanked. They would hit you.
Whoa.
Yeah, but no longer. That's against the law now.
I didn't have that in my time.
Yeah, it's against the law. I think it may have been against the law.
When you were still there?
Yeah.
For me too?
Perhaps. I never had to go to the principal's office.
Oh, you're such a good student.
I was a good girl, I was. My brother did often. Yeah.
Well, this way, by being able to sit down when they're tired, they can achieve a healthy balance between sitting and standing.
Yeah.
So they get the best of both worlds, really.
It's
they
true.
can sit when they're tired, and they can stand when they've got some energy and they want to get involved a little bit more in what's going on.
Yeah, so concluding sentence says perhaps the old model of sitting all day at school or work is on its way out, which means it's no longer going to be popular or in fashion. You can also talk about styles being on their way out. Or maybe you had a popular actor that's not so popular anymore, and he's on his way out.
Yeah, types of movies are on. You don't see so many westerns these days. You don't see so many musicals, maybe more. So
which
you could say they're on their way in.
They're on their way in, yeah. So this model is some sort of type of behavior. So it could be on its way out. Maybe you're all going to be looking at some standing desks in the near future.
Adjustable height standing desks with their fidget bars. We had a former editor here who used to work here. He used to go and stand, Jeffrey, he used to go and stand outside, not outside the building, but outside in the corridor and do a bit of standing up work.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he used to go and do it for 15 minutes just to sort of give himself a change.
Yeah.
So maybe I could learn from his example.
I think it's a good idea. Right now, guys, we're going to listen one more time to our Chinese teacher.
前面提到有一所小学呢来试验使用这样子加高的书桌。 So far, teachers and students at Vallecito have responded blank 4 to the desks. 而这所小学的老师跟学生对这样的书桌的反应如何呢？后面有提到呢，发现他们比较有多一点的参与，而且专注力，看起来是正向正面的反应。第4题 A. Frequently 次数很频繁地B. Efficiently 有效率的 C. Originally 原本的最初的 D. Positively 正面的积极的看来效果是相当正面的，所以第4题搭配文意就选择 D. Positively。 第5个空格 Further benefits of standing desks may include and blank 5 in back pain, reduced risk of obesity, and improved academic achievement. 还有哪些好处呢？除了可以背痛怎么样，然后降低肥胖的风险，然后还可以增进学业上的成就哦。当然是能够让你的背痛减少降低。第5题 A. Defense 防御B. Reaction 反应 C. Decrease 减少降低 D. Remedy 解药让你的背痛减少能够少一点，所以第5题的标准答案就选择 C. Decrease。第6个空格 Remarkable blank 6 standing desks are is still not recommended that people stand all day. 这句你要注意它的句型，前面的主词是 standing desks，动词 are 形容词 remarkable， 后面也是一个完整的句子，两个句子连接，当然需要一个连接词，这里是特殊的句型，我们用 as remarkable as standing desks are， 中文就解释成为尽管虽然这种站立的书桌显著的效果是不错，但是还是不建议要整天站着。在这里有加强语气的作用，所以我们把形容词放在前面，然后用 as 后面加上主词跟动词，所以第6题的标准答案就选择 B as 当作连接词。接着第7个空格 Perhaps the old model of sitting all day at school or work is on its way out. Blank 7 standing desks 再这么用下去，也许呢以前在学校或工作这种旧式的要坐整天的方式就已经呢要被大家给淘汰了。那么原因是什么？ A 选项 less than 比什么少， B instead of 取代， C along with 随着什么一起， D thanks to因为由于，当然是因为由于有这样子站立的书桌，以后就不用坐一整天了。第7题的标准答案就选择 D thanks to。 以上就是今天的课文讲解，谢谢收听。
Okay, so that is the end of our article. So even though your office or your school may not have a standing desk that you can use, it's still okay to kind of stand up, stretch your legs, maybe have a little bit of a walk around. If you're a student, you should ask your teacher before you do this. Maybe say, hey, teacher, I'm kind of feeling tired and sleepy sitting down. Can I just go and stand and write some of my test or go do some exercises in my workbook over by the window,
That's
standing up against the counter here, and show them this article as proof that this is why you should be doing it.
I hope our teachers are open-minded about that.
I'm sure they will be.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us. We'll be back for another program soon, but for now, that's it. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Pat. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.